Hey y'all, welcome to TLT with Lita. I first of all want to say thank you to those of you who are patient enough to wait these 15 minutes before we got started. But listen, if you want to know how leaders rise without breaking under the blessing, you at the right place. Let's talk about it. Again, welcome on YouTube, welcome on IG, welcome on TikTok. Welcome to Tuesday Leadership Tips with Lita. I'm excited to have a discussion with you today around leading the more with strength and wisdom. And we're going to talk about how leaders rise without breaking under the blessing. You know, the blessing, even that has weight, but there's a way that we can navigate as leaders so that we don't break under the blessing. We talked about it last week. Every leader, we want more. We want more of whether it's impact, whether it's reach, whether it's opportunities or even growth. Whatever it is that we want more of, the more isn't just a gift, the more is a responsibility. And so, as we take our new places, as we take new territory, as we progress, as we receive more, this responsibility that comes with more, it requires both strength, which is, the capacity to carry it, and it also requires wisdom. And that's the maturity to steward it. So let's talk about it. Welcome again on TikTok, welcome on IG, welcome on YouTube. I want us to help one another to rise into our next level with power, with poise, and with purpose. So more becomes a platform and not a pressure point. I hope y'all heard what I just said. The more should become a platform and not a pressure point, not a space or something that you dread or something that you kind of take a deep breath to see if you're going to be able to carry it today. But let it be a platform. If you wanted more, you work for more, you prayed for more, let's lead the more and let's lead it in a way that we don't break up under any pressure and it's not a pressure point. And we want to lead without panic. We want to lead without trying to have perfection in everything. When you're embarking on more, don't do it with perfectionism, because never perfect is never going to happen while we're here on the planet. It's not going to happen. Perfect is never done. But with strength, we can lead. This strength that holds it, holds the more, and then the wisdom that manages the more. So let me ask you all a quick question before we dive in. Is the more that you're experiencing, if you're experiencing more, and I realize everybody's not in the same space, we're not all at the same season in our lives, but if you are, is the more causing you to experience a stretching or a strengthening for you? Are you feeling stretched or strengthened? In essence, I just want to know, is the more leading you or are you leading the more? That's a real question, y'all. Is the more leading you or are you leading the more? What more really means in leadership is this: it means more accountability, means more decisions, it means more eyes on you, it means more expectations, It means more emotional and mental demand. That's what it really means in leadership. Sometimes people who want a new level in leadership, they think more is just increase. They think it's just increase in influence, increase in opportunities, increase in income. They think that's all it is. But when you get those things, what it's really going to mean to you as a leader is more accountability, more decisions, more eyes on you, more expectations, and more emotional and mental demand. That's the truth. Because more doesn't just elevate you. I said last week that more doesn't just elevate you, it stretches you. But I want to tell you today that it doesn't just elevate you, it also evaluates you. That more is going to evaluate really where you are as leaders, where I am as a leader is really going to tell the truth. It's going to evaluate us. So we need to lead the more with strength. Strength equals capacity plus resilience. You can't give up too quickly when you're talking about leading more because you need the strength. That means the capacity and the resilience to not just carry more, but to be able to carry it well. To be able to carry it well. I was just thinking about, y'all know I like to use myself a lot of times as um, examples or different things that goes through my mind sometimes. I was thinking about how, and I'm gonna use this, and I hope I'm not triggering anybody, but I want to use this as an example. Um, my weight, for example. I was thinking about, times where the weight really mattered in the military, where you had to weigh a certain amount based upon your age, your height, and so on and so on. So I would look like I was lighter than I really was when I stepped on that scale, y'all. And when I stepped on that scale, sometimes I would be 1 pound over whatever the max weight is before you have to get a body fat test. And if any of y'all have ever been in the military before, when you got to get taped, you're like, man, it's almost like that's a knock against you if you got to get a body fat test. And I remember one time I was probably, I'm just going to tell y'all how much I weighed. At the time, I think I was maybe like 135. And I think my max weight was like 134. So I had to get a body fat test over 1 pound. And y'all, you couldn't look at me and tell I was 1 pound overweight. So now let me connect what I'm saying. Sometimes you can look like you weigh or that you're carrying something that's not visible. But when it's all said and done, how well are you carrying it? I was carrying my weight well. I didn't look like I was a pound overweight. I didn't look like I was overweight at all. I was very physically fit. But according to the regulation for what I should have weighed at my age and at my height, I was 1 pound over, y'all. And when I was over that 1 pound, I was kind of low key mad, low key mad, like, now I gotta wait for everybody else to finish getting weighed in, and then I gotta stay behind and get this body fat test. But I carried the weight well, y'all. I carried it well. So, what am I saying to you all today? That when you have this strength for the more, strength is not how much you carry, it's how well you can carry it. So if you can carry the weight of more, you have the strength for it. You already halfway there. Strength you need to maintain stability. That's the first thing that you need to know. Strength gives it helps you maintain the stability. Your team follows your tone, y'all. Your team follows your tone, and your stability becomes the standard for everyone watching you. So if you have that strength to maintain stability, not only will your team follow the right tone, but they'll see the right example. So lead them more with strength. This is what strength looks like, y'all. It looks like staying calm. It looks like staying grounded. It looks like staying clear. That's what strength, as we are leading, that's what it looks like. If you flying off the handle, if you all over the place, if you're unclear about your vision and where you're going, your stability is off, your strength is not there, and people follow your tone. If you're all over the place, I can guarantee you your team's gonna start being all over the place. And everybody who's watching you will see it. The second thing, after you have that strength to maintain stability, you need strength to say no. No is a complete sentence. Strength to say no. Not every opportunity is aligned. Just because the opportunity comes doesn't mean it's aligned with your vision or where you're going. Overcommitment is the silent killer of effective leadership. Don't overcommit your team. Don't overcommit yourselves. Don't overcommit. It's a silent killer of your effectiveness as a leader. Strength is knowing what you're built for and what you're not. Period. If you know what you're built for, then learn that you need the strength to say no. If it doesn't line up, if you know you're not built for it, it's the strength to know what you're not built for. If you're not built for it, it is okay. Stay in alignment with your why, with your purpose, and where your vision is taking you. The second thing I said when you're leading with strength is you want to lead the more with wisdom. The Bible tells us this: if a man lacks wisdom, let them ask of God, who gives it liberally, and he won't withhold it. Wisdom equals discernment plus strategy. Discernment plus strategy. More requires not just power, but precision. So you need, number one, wisdom to pace yourself. Wisdom to pace yourself. Listen, this is what I know about running because I spent 22 years in the military running. You have to run at your pace when you are taking a physical fitness test. Now, if you're running in formation, you're going to have to run at the pace of the formation. But I am saying this: wisdom that you need when you're leading the more, it has to be enough wisdom for you to pace yourself. Growth without pacing becomes burnout. As leaders, we must learn to run at the speed of purpose, not pressure. I said we got to run at the speed of purpose and not pressure. So get that wisdom to pace yourself. Don't try to do what the next one's doing just because it looks good on them. You got to figure out what you need to do at your pace for your purpose that will look good on you. The second thing about leading the more with wisdom is wisdom you need to delegate and develop others. More influence should multiply leadership, not isolate you. Wisdom builds systems, y'all. Strength tries to carry everything alone. That's why you can't just lean only on strength. You need wisdom because wisdom builds systems and systems help scale. So you need that wisdom to delegate and to develop others. The third thing you need wisdom for is to stay rooted in purpose. I keep saying that, y'all, because it's so true. You got to stay rooted in your why. When more comes, distraction often comes with it. So stay aligned with your why so you don't drift into what's convenient instead of what's called. If you drift into what's convenient, you're going to fall back on what I said before. You're just going to be busy. But if you stay away from convenient and move towards what you're called to do, what your why is, you're going to see the results that you want to see. And wisdom does this, y'all. Wisdom matures the more so it doesn't master you. Wisdom matures the things that we are doing in the more so that it doesn't start mastering you to the point where now you're just all over the place. So, what's one part of your more that needs more strength or more wisdom? What part of your more needs either more strength or more wisdom? Think about that. Sit with that. Reflect on that. And as you are realigning, readjusting, whatever you are doing to make sure that you're in alignment with your more, make sure that you include strength and wisdom. You work too hard to mishandle the more you've been given. So lead the more with strength so you can hold it, and then with wisdom so you can sustain it. This is how leaders grow without breaking, y'all. This is how we grow without breaking under the blessing. We lead with strength so we can hold it, and we lead with wisdom so we can sustain it. Okay, y'all. So let me ask y'all this as I ask every week. Share this live with someone who you feel or who you know is about to break under the blessing of more. If they need this conversation, if they want to know how to lead with strength and wisdom, share this with them. You can share it from YouTube, you can share it from the IG page. Share it with them because I want all of us to be able to go forward and to be able to handle the more. And then as we steward the more, then we get ourselves ready for what's next. We get ourselves ready for even more because we're leading with strength and we're leading with wisdom. All right, y'all. What are your questions? You have questions? Just quickly, if you have questions, pop it in the chat real quick, and I'll answer as many as I can in the next few minutes. If you have any questions, just pop it in the chat. You need help with something, pop it in the chat as it relates to your more and stewarding that more with strength and wisdom, or if anything that we've talked about as it relates to more. If you have questions, you're welcome to pop it in the chat. Sure, we don't have anything on YouTube. All right, y'all. No questions. Okay. So I'm going to leave y'all with this. Let me give y'all some real quick ways to lead the more. Real quick ways that you can use practically, rather. Journaling, delegating, planning. Sometimes you just need to take a deep breath. You can do that too. Very important, communicate with your team. Lead your more with strength and wisdom. Be clear. Be a clear communicator. Be one that carries the weight of more well and not just so concerned about how much you're carrying, but that you carry it well. All right, y'all. It's been amazing. I hope that you all will have a blessed remaining Tuesday. And I look forward to the next time we get together. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.